And then he, so asked him to put in a word. Then he sent you a message. Then we exchanged a few messages. And, I was trying to convince you. And then you suddenly disappeared. Like there was no reply. You obviously don't like being interviewed, do you?
No, I don't. I don't know where it comes from. I guess it comes from being an introvert. When I don't really have a movie to talk about, that's the purpose. I feel really naked.
And I've seen this in other people also, like Ranbir Kapoor. Interesting stories about my friend saying, I have to meet Ranbir Kapoor. And I'll ask him, I won't bore him, I'll just ask him this one question. And then, after 2 hours of talking to Ranbir Kapoor, he comes back and says, यार ये क्या आदमी है यार, इसने तो मेरे से सुबह मैं कितने बजे उठता हूँ, खाता क्या हूँ, do I travel by bus or train to office? All these kind of irrelevant things this guy is asking. Yes, Ranbir Kapoor. The point is, he's that interested in people.
He is doing interviews though. I sense that whenever I'm like, when I see him on screen, I'm like, maybe he doesn't want to do this.
No, he
Someone's
doesn't
forced him to do this.
No, he doesn't want to do it. But for him, he has to crack in his head this thing that, can I look at this like a conversation, like I'm talking to you, rather than anything else, rather than publicity. Most actors think that this is publicity.
Right. It's part of their contract. They have to promote
They have to do it, and then it's like a bore, and they don't know how different it is from acting. I don't come from acting. I come from anyways like chatting. Like I'm talking to the cameraman, I'm talking to the cinematographer, the editor, etc. So here I am talking to you. For me, it's like an extension of that.
Right.
For actors, it often becomes an extension of.
They can't separate the two, right? Because there is light.
There is camera. They're used to this. They do makeup.
Ranbir Kapoor narrated Rockstar to you, and it is your script that he had heard somewhere else.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
So Ranbir Kapoor has a lot of friends, or had a lot of friends who are in the film industry, right? So they're assistants and they're around, and so I. Many years back was making this film, Rockstar, and it didn't get made, but there was talk about it, and there was the story must have gone around, etc. So years later, now I made Rockstar. Didn't get made. This was after Socha Na Tha. Then Jab We Met got made. Then Love Aajkal got made, and then now again I was back to making Rockstar. So I approach Ranbir Kapoor for it. I meet him at some. Again, the common thing about Ranbir and Alia is that I met them for the first time
at a screening.
And
they chased you down.
They didn't chase me down.
Like when I got to Alia, she chased you down.
So Ranbir was sitting next to me, and like we were both very happy to meet each other.
Which movie was this? Do you remember?
Yeah, this was shot by Carlos Catalan. That's how I was there. My friend Carlos.
So it must be a Zoya Akhtar movie.
It wasn't
perhaps?
A Zoya film.
Okay.
Like, Carlos had come to. Actually, Carlos came to India for the first time to shoot a music video with me.
No shit, seriously?
Yes, and that's how he came here, and he did his rounds, and he met Zoya. And there's a very rated story about like our conversations, the three of us, and then I met Zoya.
Carlos Catalan being the DOP, cinematographer, many films, most of Zoya Akhtar's movies,
Yeah, and who got high acclaim and awards and everything for it also. A wonderful guy, Spanish DP. He and I had done something together in Hong Kong. We'd done some documentary.
Like an ad film or a...
It was a documentary for Hong Kong tourism.
All right.
Long back. That was fun times there. So Carlos and I had hung and we were friends, and that's how he had come to India. So I don't remember the name of his film, but that was the first film that he had done. Right. Carlos had done. So Ranbir had come for some connection to see that, and I had. And we were sitting together, and it's like we decided to meet, and that I'll tell him there was a story that I wanted.
And you knew him? Because, I mean, was this before his debut or after his debut?
After his debut.
Okay.
And I hadn't seen that film.
You hadn't seen Sawariya yet?
I hadn't seen Sawariya.
But you knew who he was?
I knew who he was, right. And then there was... and I had done Love Aajkal, right? By that time...
You were well known by then?
Yeah, I had done Love Aajkal. Right. Jab We Met had released and Love Aajkal was being made, so his dad must have told him about me. Oh, hang on, Deepika had told him everything about me.
Right.
Because
she was in the movie.
Yeah, she was in the movie, and then she used to tell him about stuff, and then it was like, so we knew each other. We'd never met. This is how we met, in this screening, and then after that we decided to meet. Then I went and met him, and I told him, I was telling him the script that I came to narrate to him, which was some other script. Then he said,
Has
sir,
that script been made yet into
No.
a movie? Not
No,
yet.
no.
Okay.
so
Is
that
it
one,
still relevant? As in
yeah.
it's- yeah.
Yeah. But that's, we'll think about that later. And now something wonderful can happen with it, but that's separate. Before actually I got on with it, I said, will you read this? And he said, yeah, I'll read this. I think that's how what it happened. We didn't really get around to talking about that film. And then he said, sir, aapki wo wali, I've heard that you had a film where this so on
Did
and
that
so
freak
forth."
you out? Like, why does he know about a film of mine that
I
has
said,
not
yeah.
been pitched to? Freak you out, right?
So I was like, how do you know? He said, no, it's a so-and-so friend of mine, and he was there, and I'd gone to have tea with him 2 nights back or 3 nights back, whatever. And I said that I met you in this movie thing, and he said, oh, you know what? He had a story, he was making it with UTV that time, and this is the story. This guy who says that, I want to become a musician, but I don't have any tragedy in my life. That's your film, right? So I said, yeah. So he said, yeah, that's interesting, then he does this and he does that. And then he started to tell me the story. I said, okay, what else did you hear? So then, वो कुछ अपना जो उसको याद था कच्चा पक्का अपना imagination.
But copyright issue also, no? There should be like a non-disclosure agreement when you're like pitching to someone.
Come on, nothing. But then also that's this non-disclosure, this disclosure thing is also a problem because stories have to also get around a little bit. So people shouldn't steal other people's ideas, but then they should listen to their stories also.
Right, and spread the word if it's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's how Rockstar came back to me.
Right.
That's how Jab We Met came back to me.
Really?
Because when I went to meet Shahid, I was talking to him about another film, the same film.
Rockstar?
No.
Okay.
The film that I had talked
this
to
one that
Jab
you...
We- this,
correct.
Ranbir about.
अब ये masterpiece आप बना ही दीजिए आप 15 साल से बैठे हैं maybe more ना 20 years yeah
So उसके लेके गया तो शाहिद said, सर आपकी एक और वो वाली फिल्म है ना ट्रेन वाली जो आप पहले बना रहे थे नहीं बनी. So I said हाँ उसमें क्या होता है? So then I was telling him. So well this time Ranbir was telling me only the story and I was looking at this guy like this is the guy for this film.
right.
This is the guy for this film because he was telling me and then this
He's narrating the story
he's
to you,
narrating
your
the
story
to
you.
me.
Right.
And that became such a good thing that then I said, oh, so you want to make this film? He says, yeah, sir, let's make this. I said, okay, fine. Give me some time. I'll like see where the script is and write it and then I'll bring it to you. I had lost the script.
Oh damn.
So I had to write it again. And then I said, okay, this is it. And then he did it.
This is, post the invention of MS Word or whatever.
But I
final
still
draft,
lost it.
you
Yeah. I still managed to lose it. So then I wanted Alia to do Highway. Right? Because I'd met her and I'd since we discussed that. But then the unit was like, "Arey yaar, sir, ye to bahut like she's just been in Student of the Year and this is a very different film. Like, how are you kind of casting her in it?" And they were not at all confident about this choice.
If you don't mind sharing, who did you have in mind as a 30 plus? Clearly not a competitor to Alia.
I thought, no, I was thinking of, at that time, I was thinking maybe Aishwarya Rai without any makeup would be a great choice. Or, I don't know who else. I don't know whether I thought of,
but no one you really approached. It was
I
all
didn't
in-
approach anybody.
Right.
I didn't approach
Right.
any. I hadn't approached any. So then finally this, so anyway, Alia, then I used this trick. Alia had read this story and she had read it 2 times in the same night. And then she was on to do it. Then I called her to the office and the whole unit was there. I said, okay, I'm going to call Alia to meet all of you. So Alia came. And so we walked in and this 10-12 people were sitting. This is the unit that's going to make the film. And they're completely unconvinced that this is the choice for it. And I said, Alia, can you tell the story of Rockstar? Of Highway.
The way Ranbir had told you the story of Rockstar.
Yeah.
Right.
I said, can you tell me the story of, see these things like Ranbir did something and I tried it on Alia already.
Right, of all the people.
And they have a kid together and they are married. Isn't it awesome?
You have a filmy life.
Awesome? Yeah.
Imtiaz, you have a filmy life.
I'm a filming guy.
You're a filmy guy
film
with a
director.
filmy life. Yeah.
Shit.
What a cliche.
What a cliche and how unexpected. This is how it feels. Huh? So that's funny. But and other things also. I met Ranbir in a movie screening. I met Alia in a movie screening. The stars were aligning. And anyhow, so I told her, can you tell the story of Highway? So she said, yeah. And then she started telling the story. There is this. So I am Veera. I get out of the house and I'm walking, wearing a shawl and whatever. And
You could have
told the
continued
whole
with that
story.
impersonation. I was enjoying it.
Impersonation. No. She's the sweetest. She's the best. So she told me, she said the whole story, and she finished her half an hour narration of the story of Highway. And the
Half
whole
an hour,
unit,
wow.
it must have taken that much time.
Right.
I think she was I think she was, I think she was standing and telling the story to everyone. When that finished, these 25 people that were opposed to her choice as Veera were all turned in favor of her. It is such a powerful thing when an actor can tell the story, you just see it.
That's an amazing hack, huh?
It's a
completely
great
new
hack,
hack
yeah.
for someone to learn
Absolutely.
in terms of direction.
Yeah, I've learned from the best,
Which is
which is Ranbir and Alia,
Of course.
and to some extent Shahid, because
Shahid up your price.
Shahid
You're a
is-
rich man because of Shahid Kapoor. Let's be fair.
True, that's true. Yeah, I
But
should
you
give
do
him
like very
some
close
cut.
to the actors, right? Imtiaz, like I remember when you were making a Rockstar and you'd gone for some movie premiere. I remember we ran a picture of you and Ranbir inside an auto. You know, like that's a, you know, you remember this?
Yeah,
You were in an
yeah.
auto rickshaw. I mean, if your paper was if your photo was in a newspaper, I'm guessing you remember this.
I remember this particular photograph.
Yeah. So what was in that photo? Like what?
We were running away from media.
So it goes well with the theme of your film.
Yes, yes.
That's literally what you were shooting.
But that's
then.
what happens, you know. You become like that. You become like the films that you make,
Yeah.
to some extent, and then it goes away after a while. But then with Rockstar, the hangover was very high. So actually, Ranbir and I ran out of this PVR.
Juhu PVR?
No,
I think it was
Versova.
IMAX. Oh yeah, okay. Versova
Versova
is it?
PVR.
Right.
Yeah, so we ran and we crossed the street, and
To avoid paparazzi.
The
So there's a
paparazzi was
rockstar
there.
jumping. It's literally a scene from your film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they were waiting, and they knew that we are coming out. Ranbir more than me, but we are coming out, and you know he'd won the award and all of that had happened. So we were watching a film. We were watching the re-release of Dev Saab's film, which had come, that Abhi Na Jao Chhod Ke, Hum Dono. So then we saw that film, and then we came and we saw that these guys are here. So what we did is we 1, 2, 3 ran. And we ran across the media, and they were like, we ran across. We come down the steps. We actually climbed the wall. We crossed the street. We went onto the island. Auto rickshaw coming from the other side. We just jumped into the auto rickshaw. By the time the media came and started clicking pictures, and those are the pictures you're talking about. And we just ran away for the heck of it.
You know, when I learned about your Rockstar episode, what struck me more than even the fact that he narrated the script to you was the original choice for that role was John Abraham. It would have been a completely different movie if John Abraham was in Rockstar.
See, the thing is, it didn't happen. It could have been, but so there are certain things that don't happen in life. So you don't know how it would be if it had happened. I also don't know. But and you know, if John had done that film, would it have affected him in some way as an actor, or would he have taken a different route? We don't know. Also,
It would have been the same film though in terms of the script. It was exactly the same thing, roughly.
it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was that.
But but then I'd forgotten that, that's the script I'd lost, and then I rewrote it from memory. But
it does seem like
pretty
your
much.
most personal movie, Imtiaz.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does,
like you're
yeah.
showing your college, then you're also crossing the road to the next door college, and you know there are things you're saying. I don't know. I'm sure you've grappled. You're an artist yourself, so it's not a very far away from
No,
your world in terms
you're
of
right.
the point you're trying to make. Would that be like the closest you've come in terms of a story being told, which is close to you?
But the character is just not like me at all.
Sure.
But the world is, and somehow the thought is. Like I used to think that if there's nothing really spectacular or tragic about my life, how am I going to make it as a successful person? Forget about being an artist. So I had that issue in my.
You've grappled with it.
I've
yourself.
grappled with it.
Is Shah Rukh Khan
Yeah.
and Ranbir Kapoor, and you directed them both. How are they different to direct as people?
Shah Rukh and Ranbir?
yeah.
Oh, completely different. Completely different. Shah Rukh is a very, very charming, intelligent, kind person. Both are, the commonalities, both are very interested in people. And both are very good with people in different ways. Shah Rukh has the confidence to reach out and talk to people. Ranbir, I feel, is inhibited. So he does not make the initial approach to start talking to somebody. He waits for them to talk to him, but he's as interested as Shah Rukh is. But Shah Rukh has much more knowledge.
But what about as actors in terms of?
As actors, they're chalk and cheese, like completely different. They like Ranbir lets himself go. Oftentimes, he's not aware of reality when he's in a shot.
He's in a zone?
He's in a zone, and he's lost to the world. He's lost to the process of filming as well. He can't get there. You know, he really, for that time, believes he's Janardhan Jakhad or he's Ved Sahni or whoever. But Shah Rukh is not like that. Shah Rukh is very aware. He's also from theatre, so he's also in a way studied performance, and he's got much more knowledge about acting and what acting, and Ranbir is just very instinctive. But he's also extremely informed, extremely passionate, very informed about the script. Ranbir I used to be surprised that every second, third day he'd read the whole script from beginning to end. In the little time that he gets to sleep, he would also do this out of his interest. So he's very informed about every nuance, not only about his scenes, but वो गाने में वो shot आपने लिखा है script में, why have you written that? And I'm saying, because I don't know, I just felt that the light is coming over here and I'll cut it with that shot which I've already taken with that lamp. So he says, okay. So he'd have even that knowledge.
Right.
So he has got like complete knowledge and information about the film itself. Too much. But otherwise he can let himself go. So I think that is the difference. With Shah Rukh, I can discuss a scene and a style of performance, and then he goes and does it. With Ranbir, it's more instinctive, that you feel like this, and at this point of time, this is what you sense, and suddenly you remember that thought and you freeze. So I go, and he'll do it.
Also, when you did Jab Harry Met Sejal, that film, that was like this big Imtiaz Ali movie, right? But Shah Rukh Khan doesn't get bigger than that. And it's whether someone likes it or dislikes it is a completely different matter altogether. It's a subjective thing. Everyone has their own opinion. But in terms of when it does not do that well, now it's been many years now, Imtiaz. When you look back at that film, is there anything that you would change about that movie, or is there anything that you've thought of where it's like, kuch alag karta hai, if it was anything?
See, thing is that I have always done films like I have done television, is like how I've done theatre.
Okay.
There's a story, there are actors, and you, through these actors, tell this story. That's what I can do.
The story comes first.
The story comes first, and the story is the only thing.
Right.
Everything fits into it, even I fit into it. And so I feel that Shah Rukh is the biggest star I worked with. But Shah Rukh is such an accessible person otherwise that he never gives you the impression that I'm somebody. Never at all. So he's just a regular guy sitting over here talking like you are talking. And then so I'm saying, you've got to do this, you do that. But the fact that he's such a humongous star is not something that I had calculated or made provision for at all. I had written the film and I directed the film like I would for anybody.
Right.
But he's Shah Rukh, So that manifested itself in ways that I was not expecting or thinking of maybe. That is one thing. The other thing is that I would have written the film differently. I would have brought it together differently and showcased it differently.
The stardom, you mean?
It's not only that it's not as though I'd do anything extremely filmy, but like I'd have a flashback and I'd have him come and do this, and I'd have scenes where Shah Rukh could be used to the best of his strengths, both as an actor,
a backstory or a right.
Both as an actor and a star. I didn't figure that out. Like I didn't think about that.
And this is a film that you made right after Tamasha.
Yeah.
And I remember an interview of yours, Imtiaz, where you spoke about how you were going through comment section on Facebook, and there was like this conversation going on about how you didn't understand Tamasha, which is true for a lot of people, by the way. A lot of people who love this film tell others that तेरे को समझ नहीं आई. You're not evolved enough to understand this film, and I totally understand why, because it is your most polarizing movie. The fans of this film are crazy about this film, and then there's some who just did not get it. Like some just believed कि इसको क्या हो गया? Is it what, multiple personality disorder? What's going on? Why is he two different people? They just didn't get it. Is that something genuinely what led to?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that features, because I was like, there's something snooty about Tamasha and the appreciation of Tamasha, and it's becoming a club. It's becoming a you know, it's like, whoa. And I've never been in the snooty club, you know. I'm the common man. Like I'd never, like even when I was in Delhi theatre, I used to think that those actors and people that talk about real intellectual stuff and all that, na, beyond a point I was like, यार चलो यार picture में गाना वाना चलाओ, कुछ मजा करो यार, इतना boring हो रहा है अभी तो, you know. So ज़्यादा, so I was never a part of a snooty club or an intellectual club. I used to think I'm a sellout. So I thought, this is wrong, boss. This is going the wrong way. I need to do something to break out of this image. People are expecting like a lot of intel stuff from me. So let me just make a
hardcore Masi commercial Shah Rukh Khan film.
That's it. Not Shah Rukh Khan.
Right.
But let me make a film that is completely easy, accessible, and it has no, claims of being intellectual.
You know, there is a beautiful interview. I don't know if people who are watching this maybe want to check it out. It's an India film project with Javed Akhtar. I did a conversation with him some time back, and it's one thing remained in my head. He said, "I'll tell you how a flop movie is made." And he said, दो ही चीज हो सकती है, या तो आप बना रहे हो कि यार यही लोग देखना चाहते हैं, बना दो, और या ये कुछ intellectual point है, मुझे ये डालना है. In both cases, you'll make a flop film. And I thought that's quite perceptive of him to like, you have to be eye level, not looking down or looking up. Right?
Absolutely. That's absolutely.
Do you think that could have happened with Sejal, Harry?
Harry met Sejal? No, the combination of things. And then
too many things, right?
Yeah. So then you do a lot of things, and some of the things, and sometimes a film doesn't work. Doesn't mean everything was wrong.
Right.
There was something very, very nice in it as well, and I think that very many precious things also get lost. But I totally agree with Javed Saab. Like if you feel that मैं कुछ सिखाने वाला हूँ picture के अंदर, तो picture flop हो जाएगी. And also that what I'm going to make a massive film.
नहीं, यही लोग चाहते हैं. यही दे दो, हाँ, इनको यही दो. This is what you're looking down on public, right?
Yeah, you're looking down upon. I didn't feel that लोग यही चाहते हैं. I wanted to become more accessible and common. Then I realized that's not how it is. You have to just make films that you want to make. That's all. I mean, so strange that I have to look into what I want to do, and that is what has a chance of success. It's like I'm playing a musical instrument, man, with an A.R. Rahman. Imagine how thrilling it can be. I mean, it's just mind-blowing to sit behind Rahman, and when he's on his keyboard doing the basic work of BGM, of background score.
The visuals are playing.
Visuals are playing. And he's playing on that. What an experience it is. And he's like, is this okay? Is this okay? And I'm like, everything he does is more than okay. But I also know that he had told me early on that, no, you're the director, you have to do your job. So I can't just say that, oh, I'm so mesmerized, you are Rahman, aapko kya bolna hai, waise nahi chalega. So he's like, or this. I said, yeah, but you know, right now he's a bit apprehensive also, because he knows he has to go there. The music changes. So that experience is so enthralling. Just listening to a song will never be enough after this. When you see these kind of extremely talented people.
You did something similar with Rockstar as well. You spent 45 days in Rahman's studio, right? You tend to do these things, do you?
Yeah, it helps me. You know, it's my method. There are a couple of things that I need to do before I start a film. One is completely marry the director's mind. Because as an actor, I'm just kind of channelizing what he has written, and I don't have that experience that he has that I can just do it on my own. I need to really steal it from him. So marrying the director's mind is very important to me. Second is to understand the text. It's so important for an actor to really understand the material. There are certain nuances or certain beats that a director and a writer write that we on the surface or superficially read on set and perform, and there are a lot of things that you miss out. So that has been my process all the time.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.